Hello, good afternoon. Happy Valentine's Day. Hi, everybody. My name is Harini Sudhakar. I am a proud nurse at Health and Hospitals. I'm in the ED, and I'm really grateful to be here with you all to support our striking nurses. A little bit about me, and I would love if folks could introduce themselves in the chat. But I became a nurse about 3.5, 4 years ago during COVID times, because of the New York Presbyterian nurses at Milstein and Irving Center who took care of my dad, who was a longtime sarcoma patient, longtime cancer patient. So I'm really, really, really grateful to be supporting the nurses at Presby, Monty, and Mount Sinai. And I'm joined by Michelle Gonzalez, who I'll throw it to you, Michelle, to introduce yourself and kick things.
Hi, thanks, Harini. So my name is Michelle Gonzalez. I'm a nurse at Montefiore Medical Center. As many of you know, over 16,000 nurses went out on strike on January 12th, and it was a historic strike in New York City. Our nurses from NYSNA, we stood shoulder to shoulder with each other. We held each other up during these difficult moments, and we fought for the safety of our patients. We fought for more staffing, and we were fighting for our benefits too. During this process, our nurses have really learned how to hold each other and make sure that we are building this community around fighting for better improvements for all of our patients throughout New York City. It has been a difficult process, to say the least. We are up against giant conglomerate employers who don't believe in giving either their workers or their patients better conditions. And now that Monty has settled, we have recently went back into our facility, and we are continuing to fight against our employer, and we're going to continue to do that. I think when we look at a contract fight doesn't end when a contract is ratified. A contract fight will continue throughout the next few years until our next contract fight. With that, I want to kind of bring and shed light to our brothers and sisters over at Presbyterian, who that's why we're here today. Our brothers and sisters at New York Presbyterian went out on strike with us on January 12th alongside Mount Sinai nurses. And our big ask, as I indicated earlier, were safety, staffing, making sure that our benefits were intact and that there was no changes to our current healthcare coverage. This is especially important in the context of what's happening with the big ugly bill. So with that, I think we were ecstatic when we finally were able to secure health benefits for our NYSNA nurses, but the fight didn't stop there. I think healthcare benefits are a basic right that everyone should have. New York Health Act. Let's go. We're going to have a lot of organizing to do in the next few years, everybody. But with that being said, I think our fight continued even after the health insurance was secured because we all wanted to improve our staffing language and the ratios that currently exist or the grids with that work in our hospitals for patients and nurses. Recently, we were able to come to agreements at our hospitals of Mount Sinai and Montefiore. And we settled with contract improvements around safety for our patients with increase in space for us in the Bronx, because one of our main issues was that we have a lot of hallway patients and we have an overcrowded emergency room. So we were able to secure language that allowed us to add more space for our patients. They will be opening a whole new unit to help care for our patients. So that's something that we're very proud of. But our brothers and sisters at New York Presbyterian, they continue to fight, and they're still out on strike because they are trying to improve their patient grids that have their ratios and how many nurses to patients it should be. And our brothers and sisters at Presbyterian are also fighting a big fight for job security. And I think when we think about what happened with Presbyterian over the summer, there was massive layoffs. At first, when the layoffs began, the union, the NYSNA nurses were told that it was only going to be non-ancillary staff and it wasn't going to affect the nurses. Eventually, it did affect the nurses, and can't remember off the top of my head how many positions they lost, but there was job loss over the summer that affected both our nurses and our nurse practitioners in NYSNA and New York Presbyterian. For many of us in nursing, that is the canary in the coal mine. That hit at New York Presbyterian means that all of us, hospitals throughout the city, the state, the country, that we should anticipate with this big, ugly bill that there's going to potentially be job loss. And they organized around that issue, and they began their campaign to make sure that part of their contract proposals included proposals around job protection. The membership at New York Presbyterian is about 4,500 nurses, and they are very organized, and they continue to be on strike fighting for those job protections and to protect against job loss for their nurses. And we stand in solidarity with them. Today, we're here to raise some money for the nurses who remain on the picket line fighting to make sure that they get those job protection language and to get improvements in their staffing. And with that, I think we should begin our program for the day. We're going to have a jam-packed, busy, beautiful day, as Harini said. We're going to be raising money, but we're also going to be introducing you to some amazing nurses, strike captains, and members who have helped mobilize around this contract campaign. I think it's really important for all of the people who are with us today to understand how proud we are of each other, because this really has been a rank and file effort of a bunch of militant nurses making sure that we fought against terrible employers. And you're going to hear from some of my beautiful colleagues about their stories. And I am going to say, let me see who's next. Harini, you want to take over for me?
Yeah, sure. We're gonna have thank you, Michelle, for kicking things off and laying the groundwork for I think in particular the layoffs that happen. That's something that hasn't been as covered by the media, I believe. And so we're gonna hear from some awesome nurses. I'm gonna try to see if they're on the call already. We have Josh Wilson. I see Lilia Espinosa, Marina, and Hilda. So I'll have you guys unmute yourselves. I think Lilia is on the call. So, Michelle, we'll throw it off. We'll have Lilia, who is a med-surg nurse at Mount Sinai, introduce themselves.
Hi,
Lilia.
everybody. I'm Lily. Thank you so much for being here. I am a med-surg nurse at Mount Sinai Hospital. I've been there for about 9 years. And my first real heavy involvement in the union was starting in 2022 with that contract kickoff. I think coming out of COVID and everything that we had gone through during that time, conditions got really, really bad, as I'm sure a lot of you have experienced. 2022 was a really tough year. We had some severe chronic understaffing, and it seemed like there was no light at the end of the tunnel. We weren't getting any help from our hospital administrators. And so when it came time for a new contract, that I think staffing was like the thing that everybody was feeling. And when we were able to, go on strike for 3 days and secure this historic staffing language in our contract, it was incredible. And I'm from a unit that very fortunately saw massive improvements pretty much immediately after the new contract, after our new language was implemented. And I know that's not the case for all of our units at our hospitals, but we were very fortunate that we were really for us. And here comes this contract kickoff, and we're, at the table, or, when we were at the table and management deigned to show up, seeing that they were trying to take away that staffing language, that arbitration language that helped us so much, um, all the things that they were trying to claw back that we'd already won. Um, I mean, it lit a fire in all of us, even the ones who weren't nurses before 2023, who hadn't known a life before our previous contract. And I think it just got people really motivated. We knew exactly why we were going to be on the line. The way things turned out, 5 weeks later, it was tough. It was a tough 5 weeks. But the fact that our siblings at NYP are sticking up for what they know, what they know is right. They're sticking up for what they know they deserve, what their patients deserve more than anything, is so inspiring. When that vote came out, when it came out that NYP voted just a resounding no, I was so proud of them. I mean, you guys are hardcore, and Sinai is behind you, your rank and file are behind you. I'm lucky enough to have met up with an amazing group of contract action team and strike captain folks from Monty and from NYP. We were just at Javits one day while our ECs had to meet, and so we started talking to each other and talking about how do we get involved, what are we going to do with all of our sites together. There's so much power here with our numbers, so what can we do together? And I'm so grateful to have met that group of people. We're continuing to put our heads together to see how we can support our NYP siblings and keep this movement going of this amazing group of rank and file folks. And I'm so happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, Lily. And it's been great working with you and meeting our Mount Sinai brothers and sisters. Your cats are absolutely amazing. It's been so great to see that structure because, like, part of a labor movement, right, isn't just having a strong group of executive committee members. Any of us who have participated in these, large movements, we know that it's not just the executive committee. It is our cats. It is our structure of super cats, regular cats, and our members being really tuned in and ready to fight. So when we meet people like Lily and other amazing cats who, like I said, you're going to be hearing from some more cats today. This is how the movement moves. This is how we bring power to our labor. And I'm really proud of all of the beautiful cats and watching their growth. It's, like Lily said, been a really rough 5 weeks. But in the process, it's spectacular to see the growth in people. If you could see it in person, to watch as people's worker consciousness like grows, it's been really amazing. And we've been doing a lot of preparing for labor notes in June. So making sure that we're bringing our cats to have some more great conversations over the summer with our labor notes family. With that, I wanted to see, Harini, who do we have up next, my friend?
Yeah, one quick thing, as many of you are now on the call, one of our goals today is to fundraise and show our love for the nurses who continue to hold the line, 35 days of being on strike. So we're going to have some folks post a link in the chat, which is our fundraising link. And our big ask of those of you on the call today is if you could text, we will even give you a text that you could paste to your friends, to your Palantines, to ask them to celebrate with you today by making a contribution to support nurses who continue to be on strike. So we'll have our friend Wen and Sophia type a little text that they could send into the chat. And if you all could take out your phones or on your computer, do it safely. I see some of you driving. If you're driving, do this when you get home. But if you could text a few friends the link to donate and contribute to show our love and our support for New York Presbyterian nurses, about 4,200 nurses who are still out on strike. That would be awesome. And next, we should be hearing from Josh Wilson. Let's see if Josh is on the call.
Don't see Josh just yet.
That's okay. Maybe we can throw it to V. V for a performance. Does that sound okay, V? We'll just unmute you. As nurses come on the call, we'll start to hear from them why they went on strike, how long they've been in this fight, and what it really means to them. And we'll discuss a little bit more after V's performance, how we can best help and support the New York Presbyterian nurses. And then if folks have questions, you want to hear something specific, post it in the chat. This is going to be an open forum as well. So we'll throw it to V. Go ahead, V.
Thank you so much. You can hear me? Yes? You can hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Greetings to everyone here, to all my siblings here, and I want to express my sincere gratitude to Sean inviting me here so I can have the opportunity to publicly express my love for nurses. I'd like to read a section of a piece I wrote after surviving stage 3/4 uterine cancer 16 years ago as a tribute to the nurses who saved my life. It's my love song to nurses. Each day I breathe and do headstands and pick ripe tomatoes from the garden. Each day that I can write and dream and fight and resist and travel the world in a body that has no business being alive, it is you I come back to. You, your hands, your incredibly kind faces that slowly melt the haze of drugs and pain. You are not afraid of my ravaged body, distracting me as you stick needles into my evaporating veins. You there as I wake to a body minus 7 organs and 70 nodes, now invaded by a catheter, tubes, and a line to a new button I press anytime I can feel what's missing. You keep asking me the level of my pain, and I keep saying 8, maybe 8. I make it up to please you. I want to please you. You explaining each bruise, walking me slowly to the bathroom, to the mirror, holding me as I take in my torso-length scar, still bloodied with many stitches, holding me as I finally understand what has happened. Your silence, your presence is a teaching. You singing as you deliver flowers, refusing to surrender to my despair or pain or bad temper, saying, live, Eve, you will live. Care. Care. I was in your care. The countenance of your care, your country of care, the radical intimacy of your care. Your radiant intentions are part of every healed cell in my body. You rub my feet, wrap me in warm blankets, make sure I have more ice chips. Listen, please. No one ever loved me like that. Giving without gaming, cleaning me without shaming, restoring me without claiming, entering my sickness without judgment or naming. You who made doctors look good by cleaning up their messes. You who change the diapers of the elderly, get punched by babies, administer enemas, empty bedpans. You who work 12-hour shifts, Christmas, New Year's, and every holiday, and turn your wards into festive lit places. You who get slapped and grabbed and harassed and bitten and infectious diseases. What magic are you made of? Beloved nurses, blood takers, body washers, faith healers, storytellers, union makers, vein finders, law enforcers, environmental justice activists, poop managers, moral definers, morphine injectors, high-stakes comedians, confession takers, catheter calmers, foot rubbers, doctor explainers, Medicare advocates, unpaid therapists, blanket warmers, grief workers, masters of irony, and superhuman patients, and mystic mamas for the dying. You, Florence Nightingale, Mary Elizabeth Mahoney, Mary Jane Seacole, Clara Barton, Sojourner Truth, Lillian Wald, Margaret Sanger, Walt Whitman, and Alex Preddy, and all nurses who should be treated with deepest respect and holiness. Whatever humble thing you are asking for at any moment, I can promise you deserve 100 times more. Trust what nurses know, that they need what they trust that nurses know what they need to do their best work and give it to them. You don't bargain with angels because one day you'll be sick suddenly out of nowhere, diagnosed with stage 3/4 cancer. One form of this happens to all of us. You'll be that vulnerable and afraid and lost, and a nurse will come into your hospital room and take you by your hand. And in that moment, everything will change, and you actually might begin to believe you will live. Nurses, I owe my life to you. We stand with you. Your existence is proof of the possibility of human goodness.
Wow.
I need a second to take that in. Thank you, V. Thank you. I know many nurses, this fight was so important to us because it wasn't a fight just for like us. It wasn't a fight about more money. It's always been a fight for our patients to improve the standards that our patients exist in. And we love being nurses. Most of us, we went into this profession because we love to care for people. So when we're asking hospitals to help us provide better patient care and we're being told no, it's really sad. And I think it's kind of caused a certain amount of moral duress to us. So that was very beautiful. Thank you for sharing it. I'm glad we're recording this because I can't wait to share this with other people. With that, I kind of, to your point, I just wanted to point out that that's what our New York Presbyterian nurses are still out on strike for. And that's why we're here today. Please share the link for the fundraiser as far as you guys can. We know that through the power of people, we can get this link out from the East Coast to the West Coast and back again. So please share this link with your family, with your friends, with your social groups. We want to make sure that our New York Presbyterian nurses have the means to continue this strike with honor and dignity, a fight that's for them, their patients, and a fight to improve the lives that their patients exist in. So please, with that being said, I think it is Josh Wilson who is up next, if I'm correct, right, Harini?
Yeah, that's correct. We're going to hear from Josh, who is an ICU nurse at New York Presbyterian. Josh, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and share, who you are, how long you've been organizing, and what you all need in this moment from us, supporters, patients, nurses, people in the community. If you could go ahead and unmute, we'd love to hear from you. And while,
Hello?
oh,
Sorry about that.
that's okay. Go ahead, Josh.
Hey there. So sorry, just a quick introduction. My name is Joshua Wilson. Hey there. Many of you may or may not know me. I do my morning affirmations in the morning via Zoom just to send a message out to our team, sending them love, compassion, empathy, and just reminding that there is a safe space for them to be who they are. And for just like I just saw a few moments ago, for us to share moments of weakness and vulnerability. Because just to give you a little background into myself, so I'm Josh, obviously. I work in the CTICU, which is the cardiothoracic ICU at Columbia Presbyterian, the Milstein building. Am I still there? Yes. So I've worked there for approximately 3.5, 4 years. I worked at NYC for about 5 years, 6 years. I grew up in the community, and I recently had the opportunity to interview at Columbia University School of Nursing Anesthesia program. And one of the things that they asked me was, I didn't do really well in my undergrad. And they were like, what happened? And I said to them, I wish I could just go back in time and give that young man a hug. Because I did everything bad in our neighborhood. I was a representation of what our neighborhood did not desire. I did a lot of soul searching, became a nurse, became a clinical educator, and there's a whole bunch of other things. But I know for a fact that no matter what I do going forward, I can never make up for the things that I've done in my community. But I still wake up every morning with an opportunity to try to be better and do better. So I give everything that I can, not only to nursing for that reason, but I remember that every day that I have is on borrowed time. So I walk into the space that I'm in and I give my patients all I have. I give my teammates all I have. And I feel like NYP has not seen that. They're taking us for granted as nurses. They take for granted that because we're compensated, we come in there and we give all of who we are. We give all of who we are because individually we are what makes NYP who they are, right? So my small give back, and continues to be one of my small give backs to my community that I've taken so much from, that I owe so much to, is to be a positive representation. And through this strike, I see that we're not only fighting for ourselves on a daily basis, we're not fighting for our wage only, that which they try to make it about. We're not fighting only about our pension. We're fighting for safe staffing. If you've ever gone into our emergency room, you see the people within our community that are suffering based off the fact that NYP continues to penny pinch, right? We see that. We see the patient ratios that are ridiculous, putting not only the nurse at jeopardy, but put the patients at jeopardy. These are people who I know. These are the people who I love. These are the people who I care about, that we continue to fight for on a daily basis. And that's where I just came from. The line, people come up to me, it's like, oh, Josh, thank you for the positive affirmations. But genuinely, I'm so grateful to have been a part of such an amazing group of nurses and continue to be a part of such an amazing group of nurses that are fighting for something that matters. And if there's anything that I hope you all get from this call, is that yes, it is cold outside. Yes, it is hard. Yes, we cry every day, but the warmth that we gather from each other and the warmth that we get from the community whenever we hear those honking horns, like folks, it it's hard, but we know we have each other and we know we have a community of people who are supporting us. So I just thank you all for even this small gesture of having a meeting to to support us in any way, shape, or form. But generally, when you see someone from like that are still in the fight, just give them a hug, because we generally just all need it. Like we're all a moment away from crying. So thank you guys. Um, if you want to follow, it's jwill_80 on Instagram, and it's just a small morning affirmation to remind you that you're not in it alone. So, thank you.
Thank you, Josh. And thank you for your daily affirmations, giving people the strength, the courage, and also just making sure that nurses know that we're not alone. We're not alone in our fight. We're not alone in like this profession is about always striving to do the most that we can for improvement of ourselves, for improvement of our communities, and to make a difference in someone's life tangibly. So, really grateful that you could join us. I'll throw it back to Michelle, and I want to say in the chat, we're going to be posting a message that you could send your friends, your family members, any of your Palantines, which is to make an ask to support the New York Presbyterian nurses by contributing to a fund that they've set up. It is not easy to be on strike for over one month. Today is day 34 or day 35. I mean, it's been so many days, it's hard to keep track. And this is one of the most important fights for healthcare in this country, for safe staffing and for workplace protections from things like the layoffs that Michelle talked about earlier. I'm going to throw it back to Michelle to introduce a few more nurses. And those of you who feel compelled, if you want to share your love for nurses, a little, solidarity note, post in the chat. This call is being recorded. We welcome, those of you who've taken the time to attend this virtual fundraiser today. If you would like to speak, just let us know in the chat and we'll be calling on you. Go ahead, Michelle.
Thank you, Harini. I think, Josh has been amazing. I think a lot of our nurses have been blessed to follow Josh on Instagram and get these reminders about the fight and why we are here. Our fight is for our patients. And I think to Josh's point, we're fighting for something that matters. And that's why we need everybody here to help us fight for what matters most, which is getting our patients more nurses so that we can give them the care that they deserve. And I think also part of why you and other people should support this fight was that this isn't just about nurses, right? In a country that's being ravaged by Trump's America, right? And the whatever plan of 2025, we have to fight back. And fighting back against this administration includes a strong working class. And the way that we have a strong working class is us standing shoulder to shoulder with different professions, holding each other up and making sure that our fights are solid and that we are standing not just in solidarity in words, but that we are standing in solidarity financially, physically, coming out to the picket lines. If you guys haven't been to the NYP picket lines, it is a party. Wherever you go, the New York Presbyterian nurses, even though this has been so difficult, their spirits remain so elevated. So please either do both, share into the fundraiser however much you can, but also go support our nurses on the picket line. You'll have a great time at the same time. With that, I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Hilda Haynes. She's a Montefiore nurse and a nurse practitioner. Hilda is also known as her jail name, Miss Mad Dog. Hilda was arrested with the 9s and the 13. 13 of our nurses were arrested during a civil disobedience about a week back. Those nurses made the ultimate sacrifice of making sure that this fight continues to have escalating actions that are visible and that the city knows that this is important, not just to the nurses, but to our communities. So with that, I pass it over to Ms. Hilda.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello.
Hi,
I was
Hilda.
just coming. Hey, everybody. I'm just coming from the NYP and Choney picket lines. And Alan, hold on. That's right. We just came. That's right. Yeah. So we're here. Well, we're on the train now, but we just have to support you guys down at NYP because what happened to you is just it's just terrible. And the reason that we have to support everybody is because one union, we need everybody's support. So that's the reason that I'm here. And this is a fight that is for our patients. I've been at Montefiore over 35 years, and I've never seen anything like this in my life. And if there's one thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that we are together and that we support each other. And that's the reason that I'm here, because I believe that my brothers and sisters at NYP and Choney and Allen, that we support them because they deserve it. And one for all for one. Thank you.
Thank you, Hilda. Hilda has been an amazing strike captain and cat and has really helped to mobilize members. And we are so happy that Hilda could come in and give us a few words today. As you can see, Hilda and our fellow nurses are over there supporting that New York Presbyterian strike line. We are going to continue doing that, and we're going to make sure that we make sure the fight of New York Presbyterian getting more nurses and getting job security language is forefront to New York City, to nurses and to workers throughout the city, the state, and the country. With that, we are going to pass it over to one of my Monty nurses as well. This is our friend Akash Matthew. He's a nurse over in Cloud 4. Shout out Cloud. It is a med-surg building that houses some of our sickest patients. Akash has helped in, bringing art to the picket line through his song. And he's going to tell you a little bit about his song and why, what his inspiration from his song came from. Akash, go ahead.
Hey, y'all. I just wanted to say I've been on the med-surg floor for about 4 years now in Monty, and obviously I've been seeing all the BS we have been have to deal with. And I just want to say I stand for all you NYP nurses. We are all in this together. And my inspiration for the song has been because I've been always trying to connect with people, and music is a way to always express yourself and connect with others. And I always felt like using a way to advocate for safe staffing and supporting my colleagues and stuff would be a way to make a song. And I always felt like, making like music, even small jokes in situations where everything is so stressful, a smile could go a long way. And you never know. But I just want to know, you guys know that I'm in here, solidarity with you guys. We're going to make a contract and everything's going to be good.
Thank you, Akash. We're gonna play your song so much. I want to shout out all the nurses who were so creative. There have been so many nurses and supporters who put together posters that, speak volumes, songs. The song that many of you heard when we first introduced, that when we kicked off this fundraiser was a song also put together by a New York Presbyterian nurse. So the creativity of nurses goes beyond, and it was really demonstrated through, the last month and a half during the strike and in leading up to the strike. So let's kick it off. Let's hear from Akash's song.
Clocking blues at the break of day. 30 on the list, one nurse on the floor. Name tags crack, but we still stay sweating our scrubs. Heels at the door. Babies cry, alarms or scream. We hold this place with coffee and tape. Charting in corners, swallowing grief. Praying our patience, make it out safe. We on strike till they make it right. Montefiore, hear us tonight. Underpaid hands, holding up lives. We won't bend, won't break, won't hide. We on strike till they make it right. We on strike till they make it right. Managers talking polished words. We live the codes, we clean the blood. Mr. Meals, Mr. Kids. Still we showed up through every flood. And self-starving, one more bed, one more favor, one more life. We know our worth in every wound. We know our power standing outside. We on strike till they make it right. Montefiore, hear us tonight. Underpaid hands, holding up lives. We won't bend, won't break, won't hide. We on strike till they make it right. We on strike till they make it right. Cold wind, hot rage, picket signs high at the gate. We're tired, we're done being brave. For people who won't shed away. How much longer till we win? Who keeps this hospital alive? We do. Our voices rise, our backs unbend if we care for all they care for. Strike till they make it right. Montefiore, hear us tonight. Underpaid hands, holding up lives. We won't bend, won't break, won't hide. We on strike till they make it right. We on strike till they make it right.
Oh my God, I love that song so much, Akash. Thank you for making that song because it's really been one of the anthems of our picket line. We've played it so many times that like none of us get tired of it though because it's like such a great song, such a great rhythm. So thank you, Akash, for that song. I want to real quickly start moving to our next few parts. You know, the art that has came from this strike, it's almost like a testament to the power of the nurses and to how close everyone has gotten. And the hospitals thought, and the hospital systems and the lobbyists thought that they could break us. The Greater Hospitals of New York, the League of Doom, thought that they were going to break our 16,000 nurses that went out on strike. And instead, they've empowered us. They've made us stronger. They've made us all more involved in the labor movement. And I think they should be scared of us now because now more people than ever understand that these hospitals, they don't care about us. They don't care about our patients. And for us to get any improvements in life, that is going to take us as workers to continue that fight. I want to, we're going to move into some of the fundraising parts and why this fund is so important as the fight for our New York Presbyterian nurses and the fight for their communities throughout New York City, because I know you guys know they have some different campuses. We have the Allen campus over kind of towards the North Bronx. And then you have the main campus over by 168 in the Heights. You know, these have some of our most vulnerable populations. And like these nurses are fighting to make sure that the care that these patients receive is adequate and that there are no disparities in care. And I know that I wanted to make sure everybody on this call knows that even in just the last few minutes that we started this call, that the fund from this fundraiser, we started at 15,000 at around 2 p.m. It's already at 20,000. Please share, share, share. We can make sure that our New York Presbyterian nurses get the support that they need. So let's do that. Let's do that together. Let's share this with your family, your friends, from your social groups. You have a jiu-jitsu group or something that you do, paddleball, pickleball, send it to all your groups. Please, we need the help, and our New York Presbyterian nurses are gonna get some small relief from this fundraiser. So we want to make sure that we can help them in every way possible. I'm going to pass it over to Harini, and she's going to take it from there.
Thank you, Michelle. I want to shout out something that thank you, Kathleen, for sharing this in the chat. In case folks are driving and they can't read this, Kathleen says, from a patient point of view, unless you've been in the hospital, you might not realize how much the nurses work as a team. So the focus on the individual nurses belies the complexity of being a nurse in a hospital. I watched the nonverbal communication, the shorthand communication, the support for each other that is grounded in the patient's needs. Hospital management doesn't create that culture. The nurses do. And traveling nurses cannot recreate that. I will say, travel nurses, they don't know the community. They're coming in from the outside. They may not know the language people use because, for example, I work at a hospital in Brooklyn. We have people who use different kinds of terms for if they feel chest pain, they point in a certain way or they use a certain terminology. And nurses from the outside just really don't know what people mean when they're talking about reflux versus chest pain versus something else. And if you're, someone who works in the ED, then you'll know why it's important. We need to know the distinction. And then Kathleen also goes on to say, they can only be successful because travel nurses can only be successful because the home nurses. Not sure what you are called besides heroes. Have designed a clear path for them to follow. The teamwork ethic is playing out in this strike. Thank you, Kathleen, for being on this call. And for those of you who have similar such stories or experiences, we welcome you to post in the chat. You could raise your hand if you want to share those stories. I think it's very important that everyone gets a chance to share their story because most of us at some point in our lives, you may have been born at home, but most likely you will have experienced a hospital visit or a hospital stay at some point in your life. So you've been touched by a nurse or experienced nursing care. I will throw it to Olivia, who has a little one who's on this call.
Hi, I just wanted to shout out solidarity for all of you I am here with Isabel. She is my niece, and Isabel was born a little bit premature. So she spent the first 3 days of her life in the NICU at New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell, which I am told by some of our union siblings is not yet unionized. So it's all the more important for us to support you all, especially the nurses at New York Presbyterian, because the safe staffing and wages and benefits that you all get in your contract, that's going to set the standards for all of the nurses that take care of babies like Isabel and all the other patients at NICUs across the city and especially across the Presbyterian system. So I personally am so grateful to all of you, and so is Izzy. She's going to go up for her nap soon. I also just wanted to say I also happen to be the labor coordinator for New York City DSA, and we are also in full solidarity with the New York Presbyterian nurses as you guys continue to take this fight to the bosses and to our cowardly governor, Kathy Hochul, who continues to extend these executive orders that allow the hospitals to keep bringing in scabs. We will not stand for it. We stand with you. Thank you all so much. And I am going to go in. I already put in $50 and got my NYSNA hat, but that was to the main hardship fund. So I'm going to go another 50 into this fund. And I would love to see if anybody else here in the chat wants to put in how much they're going to go in. And maybe I'll match you. We'll see before this baby goes up for her nap. So thank you all so much and solidarity.
Thank you, Olivia. Thank you. I see Wen just said $300 added to the fund in the last 10 minutes. We are going to post a little, the link again, as well as a message that you could send. So if you haven't already done so, if you could text your tennis teammates, your sports teammates, your coworkers, people in your neighborhood, whatever groups you feel affiliated with, if you could draft an email asking for some support or a text message asking for some support. This strike fund is especially important because it enables New York Presbyterian nurses to continue holding the line until they win more FTEs, full-time equivalents, more staff, and safe staffing language. So it allows them to have, cover their rent, cover food. This is what's essential to sustain a long-term strike. And like Olivia mentioned earlier, Governor Hochul, New York governor, has been using this Executive Order 56 in an unprecedented manner to break the strike. I believe the last time a declaration like this was used was in COVID 2020. So please take the time, pull out your phones, pull out your computer if you can. We are trying to support this strike fund, and we will continue to hear from nurses on the call. I see Edwin. Edwin, did you raise your hand because you wanted to share a story? If so, go ahead. You could unmute yourself while we are texting away, trying to get more of our friends to contribute to this fund. Oh, okay. Deborah, I know, Deborah, you are a nurse at NYP. You had added Deborah Sarallo. Would you like to share a little bit more about your experience going on strike, being on strike, and your involvement in this fight? If you're able to, you could go ahead and unmute yourself. Deborah is a nurse at New York Presbyterian.
Hi, good afternoon. I appreciate all the support that everybody's been giving. Yes, I am a strike captain and a CAT, and I'm a union convention delegate for the past several years. I've been involved in the union. I've been at NYP, Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital, for the past 12 years now. I've definitely in it. My whole unit, very, very motivated. We take care of oncology patients. We do bone marrow transplants. We've been very, very supportive of each other. It has been devastating to us, both financially and emotionally. We have patients that we take care of long term. They're in for months and months at a time, and it's just breaking our hearts that we're not there for our patients. It's breaking their hearts that we're not there for them. But we fought every single day. They wanted to take away our health care. They wanted to take away our pension. They wanted to take away job security. Our NPs, which are the lifeblood of our bone marrow transplant team, they don't want to give them any security that they can't be replaced. And we're just fighting now for our patients to make sure that when we're there for them, and we're not having to split ourselves between too many high acuity patients. It's been a real struggle in all our departments. We've fought before for staffing, and this is why we need the enforceable language, because they can turn around and just delay and delay and delay and fight it. And we've done it years ago to fight for our staffing, and it took us over 2 years just to get a few nurses hired. And then they didn't honor that, and we had to go back and fight again, and it took more time. And then ultimately, when we did win, they retaliated against the nurses that fought. They tried to take away pay. They tried to put discipline in our files that we had to go back and fight another 18 for, because they don't want to hire the nurses and they don't want to staff safely. It's been a struggle, but we're going to be there, and we're not giving up. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah, and solidarity with you as you continue to, motivate coworkers. I think that's what it's about, right? Like trusting in each other and then trusting in your executive committee's leadership, especially when you have a time where the top level of union leaders are not in alignment with what the members want. And you guys know what you need day to day because you're the ones who are on the floors taking care, really the backbone of the hospital. I want to throw it out. I know there's another New York Presbyterian nurse on the line, Patrick. Patrick, we would love to hear from you. Share what unit, you are a part of, what it's been like to be on strike for you, and, why you really believe in this fight.
Oh, hey. Yeah, I'm Patrick. I work in the cath lab, Milstein Hospital. It's been a roller coaster ride for us. I've been floored by the engagement of the rank and file. I've just been floored. I've been involved. I'm a strike captain. I got roped into being a cat early on. I was a reluctant cat, but I just kind of went with the roller coaster. Me and Marielle Medina, who's also in the cath lab, we initially were at the early meetings. We saw what was happening from the get. We were encouraging people from the get to start saving money, get your per diem jobs. The way they treated it, I think on the first meeting, they didn't even want us there. It was on some East Side high-rise place. Their lawyer, James Frank, I forget what he was talking about. He looked straight at our negotiator and says, "Say thank you." And our negotiator's like, "What?" He said, "Say thank you." And our negotiator's like, "I'm not saying thank you." Like it was for some bullshit thing. And that kind of set the tone. When I let my coworkers know, I mean, that's how they've treated this entire negotiation. So what I'm trying to let people know, I think it's very important for people to know, because people are getting scared. People are getting tired. We had a strike captain meeting last night, and it was somber. And so to me, there's two things we need to address. The immediate things of listening to those of us who are hurting and getting those people help. So we rally to those people, we talk to those people, we comfort those people, and we get them the resources like we're doing now for this, right? We get them the resources. The other component that is key in my mind is keeping the faith, right? Keeping the faith. I firmly believe we won. And I think we just have to keep taking some steps. And so I tell people why I think we won. If I'm going on too long, because I can talk, just say, "Pat, stop now." But I'm just going to say I had a conversation with a guy on the line today, and he said, "Thanks for filling in the gaps." So their brain trust, their hospital brain trust for the last couple of years came up with a plan to break our union. They started with the health fund. Their first ploy was to, on this side, through the trustees, gut the health fund. And the other component of that was, now you're going to pay for what we just gutted. Okay. We beat them. We beat them. They started off their little scare campaign last year at Presby when they fired nurses to send us a message. We beat them. The other part was they were going to come for a pension. We beat them. So I'm telling people, this is their brain trust. They threw everything at us and we beat them on two core issues. So what's remaining now is, while we have the momentum and while we have this amazing rank and file participation, we really need to come through for who it's really about in the first place, right? Our patients, right? So we need more nurses to take care of the patients safely. I mean, you'd think it's a no-brainer for people who are in the hospital business, but it's not. So that's what I want people to know. And I also let them know that the first time they threatened us with an impasse, they thought we would cave, because in the past we would have, but we have an incredible, extraordinary executive committee. We didn't cave. Then I forget what the next thing was. There was another move like that where it felt like a real gut punch, and we didn't cave. So now they're like, Jesus Christ, this is the best plan we could come up with. We got the full force of like multi-millions, gazillion dollars, and they're not back yet. So they called their girlfriend in Albany, and their girlfriend talked to our top people and said, listen, this has to end. So they pulled their bullshit maneuver. I was on the line. Poof. It was like 4 o'clock, getting ready to go. And Beth and Jay, two of our ex-coms, came up frantically, like telling us the bullshit they pulled. We had to instantly get into rapid response mode. And somehow we did. The next day, we didn't even know if we could be on the picket line, but we had a Zoom. They took away our Zoom. We had to come up with a Zoom. We told everybody. That next day on the line was freaking glorious. I mean, we didn't even know if they said first, don't bring signs, don't bring noisemakers and all that. People brought the shit anyway. We wound up being loud. We were full force. It was freaking glorious. So we beat them. We took everything they can throw at us. So what did they come up with next? Hey guys, we just want to tide things over now. We really love you. All this stuff we've done, we love you. We want you back. You have till 6 o'clock. Well, guess what? Not enough people bit. So then they extended it to, what's today? I'm losing track. Today's Saturday. I think they extended it to today. They're not getting the people. Okay. So this week, from what I'm hearing from rank and file guys, they're like, the most essential thing is that we hold the line. And the things that we're doing here now today is helping us hold the line. But what I'm hearing from people is they want a feeling of action. So last week, I was inspired by Judy Gonzalez. She came to our line, which inspired. The time and effort that nurses, Roxana got me involved in this. She's not even at Presby. She's spending her time and energy to do things to help us. Judy came over to our line to help us. I mean, this blows me away. So she pulled out the old Occupy Wall Street human microphone thing. And it was so moving. It was hybrid because she had a burp burp thing. So then the next day I wrote up a speech and we did a hybrid. I used a microphone and we had the whole line directing our speech at the hospital. And it really empowered the people on the line. So we're going to do that every day this week. We're going to get different people to lead it and we're going to have different things, but it's a two-pronged thing. We need to attack them, who they are. We're bringing up Epstein. We're bringing up their lawsuit for the sexual predator. We're naming names, their board members, their CEO. But then we're gonna call out. Then we're gonna call in. Listen, we're ready. Everyone's ready. Everyone wants us back. Everyone inside wants us back. All we need is what you should have given us in the first place: nurses to safely take care of our patients. So that's going to happen all week. I think we're in the home stretch. The stretch seems to keep stretching, but that's it. I really appreciate this, all this you guys are doing for us. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Shout out to Patrick. Oh my God, Patrick, I love you. It's been so great, like getting to know our brothers and sisters in NYSNA because I got to be real honest. We're a little bit siloed from each other. This is like the first time in NYSNA history that like we're all getting to know each other and we're building these networks with each other. And, you know, I think people don't know that we were really hesitant about going under this one roof in Jacob Javits, and we were uncertain. We were like, what should we do? And our executive committee spoke to each other a lot at Mount Sinai Presby, Morningside West, and Monty, and we said, you know what? Our members are stronger than ever. The hospital lobbyists, they don't expect us to be as strong as we are. Let's do this. Let's get downtown. We'll do our one roof bargaining and we'll help each other's fights. And in the process of us going to Javits, it wasn't just empowering our nurses and our contract campaign. It was building a network and building a network of not just our ECs talking to each other, but our general membership making friends with each other, our cats making friendships with each other, that we're going to be in our network forever. And I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud to be a part of it. Patrick, it was great getting to know you. And I know so many times we were in the Jacob Javits Center chanting with each other, New York Presbyterian, Mount Sinai, Montefiore nurses, to the point where Jacob Javits was so scared of us, they hired like 20 people, almost 30 people, just to monitor us because we would be chanting in the hallways. And our hospital executives were terrified of us. So we're really proud of all the networks that we've been able to build, from the ECs to the general membership to the cats. Everybody has like a relationship now that we never would have expected. And I'm so happy to be a part of that and watching it. I want to take a second to bring it to our next speaker. We are going to go to my friend Zuleka, who's a part of Montefiore. And I just really quickly, before I go to Zuleka, I don't know if I might have hit the whole one roof thing and not explained it too well, but New York Presbyterian and Monty and all of us were in separate tables bargaining. And in around December, our hospital executives tried to tell us, hey, maybe you guys should go under one roof since you're all talking to each other. And it was funny because it was at the same time that New York Presbyterian was getting accused of quote unquote collusion because we were all working together on our strategies. And I remember when I got the call from Beth and Jay, and they were like, they're accusing us of collusion. And I was like, collusion? They're the ones colluding with each other. So it was like throughout this process of us starting to realize that the hospitals were really kind of, calling each other and getting on group calls. It would be us texting each other and kind of realizing we were like, our management is taking a caucus right now. And everybody would be like, my management is also taking a caucus right now. And we kind of started to realize that we were having these extensive conversations with each other through the League of Voluntary Hospitals. So when the opportunity came for us that they were like, hey, maybe you guys should go under one roof, we were hesitant because the one roof idea meant that we would all be in the same place. But we were like, is this a good strategy for us? So eventually, when we did take this idea of going under one roof, we were still, very clear that our tables remained in their own ability to make decisions for their own bargaining units, because we do have different contracts throughout NYSNA and throughout the 4 hospitals. But we are so happy that we got to do the idea of the one roof. I actually spent my Sunday night with the New York Presbyterian nurses watching the Super Bowl and listening to Bad Bunny, and it was probably the greatest moment of my life. With that being said, I am going to bring it to Zuleka. I think actually, hold on, wait. Before Zuleka, I gotta take a second, Zuleka. You go next after my friend. He is Bill Bachman. I think he's gonna share with us an experience that Bill had happen to him at New York Presbyterian, and then we'll go to Zuleka. All right, Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, hello everybody. I'm not sure. Let me start. I have been and still am a patient at New York Presbyterian. I may know some of you Maybe not. I've been at Harkness BMT and in Millstein Hudson North. And while I was there, I was witnessed the layoffs and heard about the lawsuit that they lose $1 billion to protect this doctor who was sexually abusing patients for decades, and they want to take it out on staff by laying them off, which I thought was horrendous. And then I was there when Hudson South closed, and one day it was there and one day it was gone. It was like, when I'd go walk around, it was like walking through a ghost town. And as far as I know, it's never been replaced. So, having said all that, the nurses who have cared for me, both at Harkness and in Millstein, have all been wonderful. I can't say their praises more highly. And I wish them well. And unfortunately, I would be up on the picket line myself if I wasn't so sick. But solidarity, and an injury to one is an injury to all. That includes all staff and includes the patients too. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you so much. It's our patients that bring us to make sure that we're fighting for the better staffing that we're here for. And I know so many people have told us, especially with our New York Presbyterian nurses, how instrumental they have been to their care and how they are alive because of their New York Presbyterian nurses. My best friend, Taylor, she had a brain aneurysm about 2 years ago and she almost died. She was in the care of New York Presbyterian and she even got her rehab there. That floor and all of the people who took care of her saved her life. And she will always speak power to truth about how the New York Presbyterian nurses saved her and she wouldn't have made it without them. So I'm so glad that we can stand in solidarity with our New York Presbyterian nurses. Please continue to share the link with your family, your friends, your social groups. This is how we hold each other up, and not just words of solidarity, but in making sure the nurses can continue to hold the line. I'm going to pass it up next to one of my Montefiore colleagues. Her name is Zuleka. She is a pediatric emergency room nurse. She is also part of the 9s and the 13, and she went and got arrested during the civil disobedience in front of the League of Doom, or the League of Voluntary Hospitals. And I'm going to give it to Zuleka. Zuleka, go ahead. Zuleka, are you there? Did you freeze? Uh-oh. I'm asking you to unmute, Zuleka.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Zuli. Go ahead.
Okay, hi. I just wanted to follow on Patrick. My name is Zuleika, pediatric nurse here. And Patrick, you are so amazing. I saw the other day the video about you guys. You were shouting on the megaphone and everybody was following, and that was such a cohesive one voice, but also one message. I think that you guys have an incredible thing going on with your social media campaign, and hit them hard, because all of these Epstein files that have been going around were dropped at an amazing time for you guys to use it. I think it's the only good thing that we can take out from this. As a pediatric nurse, I'm huge on my advocacy role. So I advocate for my patients. I advocate for the parents, and it's been heartbreaking to see the collateral damage that has been going on between our patients and their care, especially cancer patients, people who are chronic and need us there. Their experiences speak volumes on how they not only they need us, but how the hospital has disengaged from any responsibility they have towards our communities, and we need to hold them accountable. And that means we hold that line. We hold them to the standards that we need to keep on working. You guys are doing an amazing job. Getting arrested was nothing. We are going to have that dismissed. We just wanted to bring attention to the cause, and you guys standing on that line after two of the hospitals went in, you're the spotlight now, and we're so proud of you. And we will continue to go to your picket lines. We're gonna try to give any and every support that we can. Um, it's been really strenuous to physically, mentally, emotionally. I was supposed to be back to work today, and I have not been sick through all this time, and I got sick. I wasn't able to go to work. Our bodies have a way of telling us when enough is enough, and this has been really, really rough. So I commend you guys for being out there in the cold under these abusive conditions, because this is mental abuse from these institutions, and they think that they are going to get away with breaking the weakest link. We're not the weakest link. We're never going to be the weakest link. Not able to take anything else from you guys. We're going to help you hold that line, and you have
Luleika, you there?
Zuli, we lost you towards the end. I think Zuli, we're so grateful that you were here today. I hope you can hear me right now. I hope you feel better. I'm so sorry to hear you're getting sick. These nurses from Monty and Presby and Sinai, they really have done so much work to fight here. And people don't understand, like, this escalation has come from the nurses, has come from the rank and file. Us going to Bird Dog, our CEOs, and showing up in front of Sinai and Presby's houses, and going to do the march across the bridge, the march to Governor Hochul's house. All of these ideas have come from rank and file nurses coming together, organizing, and making sure that they're pushing back on a lot of different directions. I think part of some of our struggles has been that, organizationally, we've had to push back on even our own union and saying, these are the actions that we're going to do. Are you going to help us? Yes or no? Because we're still going to do it. With that being said, we have our next speaker coming up. I'm going to pass it over to Brian Nita. Is that correct, Harini?
That's correct. Brian is the president of Brian, you should explain your role, but I know you are highly involved in United Nurses Association of California, and Union of Healthcare Professionals. And if you would speak to the importance of the NYSNA NYP nurses still being on strike, and the strike of 15,000 nurses in general, especially as we just saw a couple weeks ago, I believe, like 31,000 Kaiser healthcare professionals went on strike, open-ended strike as well. So we'll throw it over to Brian to speak about what's been going on in California, and what you've been taking away from the struggle and the fight of nurses here in New York.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Brian Nita. Again, I'm a physical therapist. I am president of an affiliate in Northern California of physical therapists, speech language pathologists, occupational therapists, and now acupuncture providers. We are an affiliate of UNAC UHCP, which is a union that represents 31,000 nurses, nurse midwives, nurse anesthetists, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, optometrists, pharmacists. So basically 31,000 providers between California, Northern California, and Southern California, because the regions within Kaiser are split, and then also Hawaii. So in our the three going on 4 weeks of strike, we're certainly trying to make some progress. And the connection here, obviously, is that a good number of our members are nurses, and to see you all out as long as you've been, showing solidarity. Sorry. It's been a long few weeks, of course, and you guys know that more than anybody because you've been out longer. But to see the solidarity, to see the collaboration, to see the unity, not just between the providers and the members out on the line, but to see the community come out, to see the right side of this. We're asking for similar things. I've followed your strike and what you guys have been asking for, very similar things, ratios, staffing, things that are pertaining not just to nursing, but also to healthcare providers of all types. And then, of course, wages are certainly an issue. And you guys, I think, are facing similar challenges of, basically mental warfare in a lot of ways, from management, challenges of the stress, facing your own members, facing the doom and gloom and the waiting long days and bargaining and those types of things. So certainly can relate and empathize to all the things that you all have been experiencing. But I mean, I feel like that in so many ways, when the times get toughest, you find other people that see the same things, that see the benefits. And we're progressing not only patient care, but we're progressing our respective professions forward. And I think that that's a huge, goal, and it's something that echoes beyond, the length of a contract. So, like, I don't know your terms for how long you guys are looking, but ours is 4 years. Well, certainly 4 years makes a huge difference in terms of, what you're going to make, what you're going to work, how things are going to go. But then it is certainly important in terms of the next contract and the next contract and the relationships that you have with your management team. I do think that strikes are sometimes a healthy component of things. This is the first one that we've had in 40 plus years. The first time I've been a part of this at all. Being a physical therapist, most physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech language pathologists, we don't have unions all that frequently. And so this is our second contract. We've been, organized for 4 years, and I've seen nothing but positives. Certainly the solidarity, the teamwork, the bringing each other up rather than trying to basically put each other down to get advancement. I don't know if you all have experienced that within your professions, but for my profession, I've been a therapist for almost 23 years, and really the goal in the beginning was make myself shine and let my colleague look bad so that I get the one raise and let them look terrible, rather than recognizing the strengths between us, seeing the things that I don't do well that my colleague does do well, and building us up together and using our solidarity and our unity together to help advance everyone rather than, lower others and play it from the negative, which again works to management's advantage, I think. So that's a little bit about what we're experiencing. But the irony of this is that I got one of your Instagram posts last night, and it has been a long week, and it's been a long, difficult week. We've seen roller coasters up and down. But the nurse that was on the post really talked about holding the line and the strength, and that it's not judgmental, and it's not, and it just spoke to me, and it of course brought me to tears, which I don't know, that's a big feat these days because I tend to get kind of emotional about these types of things. But it's great to see. It's great to see that not only 31,000 healthcare professionals in the western part of the country are fighting for something, but across the country, 15,000 nurses doing the same thing. And you all are inspiring people across the country. Everybody knows about it, which is great. As was spoken before, unfortunately, sometimes the news cycle goes fast, but certainly something that is wonderful to see. And I hope you all get what you need and continue to fight for what you deserve.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Brian,
Thank
Josh
you.
here.
You are an
Brian,
inspiration,
Josh here,
friend.
man. You guys at UNAC, UHCP have been holding us down, and you're going to bring me to tears, my friend, because like the amount of support and love you guys fill my inbox with on a daily basis, it should be criminal. Like you guys are outstanding. And if this is the way Cali works, man, I got to come visit. And like I said last night on the line, is that I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna hug each and every single one of you guys when this is all
Please
over.
do. Whenever you get out of here, we would love to meet you. And again, like I say, it couldn't have come at a better time. But yeah, I mean, I think you get that inspiration of pro labor. I mean, I don't know that it necessarily always has to even be within healthcare, but I can't tell you the number of people that have come through our lines who are just union members in any profession, right? That they come out and they say, I won't walk in and, we're here to support you and things like that. And, there was a cancer patient in Southern California who said, look, I've been a lifetime union member. I won't cross. And they, of course, the people on the line said, no, you need to go seek treatment. You need to go get care. But just that kind of unity and the importance of what we do. And again, I think that the solidarity coming together, I think is incredibly important. So yeah, thank you. And thank you for your message. It definitely was well received. And I wasn't the only one.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Awesome. It's really beautiful to see the cross-country connections that have come through the strike preparation efforts and the organizing. We're going to have a couple performances now, and then speaking of social media and the way that it helps rank and filers get their narrative out, especially in times when the media doesn't cover all the issues. We are going to hear from Elle Cruz, who is one of the people behind Presby Nurses, an Instagram account that's been keeping many of us in the loop. So I'm going to throw it to Staceyann, who is a spoken word poet and performing artist. Thank you, Stacy, for joining us. We're going to hear from you. And then Jay Hoard. Go ahead, Stacy. Oh, Stacy, go ahead and unmute, okay?
Okay, so I'm going to read you a poem called The Low Road by Marge Piercy. And this poem, I want to read, I have an alternate name for it. I call it How to Start a Revolution. It's literally just just a list of things to do if you want to start a revolution. And I think it's a very effective list. And love, big ups to all the Jamaican nurses out there. Big ups to all of the Caribbean nurses. Big ups to all of the Black women who hold down healthcare in all the corners of the world, but particularly in places like New York City, in the big cities across the US. I see you, I hear you. You have helped to save my life, my daughter's life. I was pregnant and in bed and went to the hospital 26 times. And every time the doctors missed something, the nurses whispered in my ear, ask him this, suggest this. And they advocated on my behalf all day, every day. Give me a Black woman to nurse me, and I know I'm on my way to being well. So, Marge Piercy, The Low Road. What can they do to you? Whatever they want. They can set you up, they can bust you, they can break your fingers, they can burn your brain with electricity, blur you with drugs till you can't walk, can't remember. They can take your child, wall up your lover. They can do anything you can't blame them from doing. How can you stop them? Alone, you can fight. You can refuse. You can take what revenge you can, but they roll over you. But two people fighting back to back can cut through a mob. A snake dancing file. A snake dancing files. A snake dancing file. Sorry, my phone fell and I'm in the car. Okay, here we go. Two people fighting back to back can cut through a mob. A snake dancing file can break a cordon. An army can meet an army. Two people can keep each other sane, can give support, conviction, love, massage, hope, sex. Three people are a delegation, a committee, a wedge. With four, you can play bridge and start an organization. With six, you can rent a whole house and eat pie for dinner with no seconds and hold a fundraising party. A dozen make a demonstration. 100 fill a hall. 1,000, have solidarity and your own newsletter. 10,000, power and your own paper. 100,000, your own media. 10 million, your own country. It goes one at a time. It starts when you act, when you care to act. It starts when you do it again after they said no. It starts when you say we and know who you mean. And each day you mean one more. So much love, so much like support, and keep the pressure on and like ask for what you are due. So much is owed to you because you have already given so much to us. Big up, big up, big up Black women nurses, Black women civil rights, workers, Black women who keep us safe. Love, love, love.
Thank you, Stacy. That was beautiful. And thank you for joining us. Thank you to everyone who's been joining us, whether you're joining from home, from your car, in transit. It's been really beautiful. I'm going to throw it up to Jay. Jay, take it away with the performance.
Hello. First off, I just want to say thank you. My parents have been kept alive definitely via the care of nurses, via the courtesy, generosity. I listened earlier to V's spoken word piece, and yeah, I can attest to all of that. If not just for myself, definitely for my parents, who are the shining light of my world. And without nurses, I don't think that I would have them still. So I thank you. I thank you to the home care health people. I thank you. And I thank Anthony Arnove of the Voices of People's History and Sean for this. And hope it brightens your day and continues to keep the faith, as Pat said earlier. Mm-hmm. Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? And I think it was a freedom fighter, it's all that's time to fight. We're gonna fight all day and night until we get it right. Oh yeah. Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? I'll explain you as a freedom fighter anytime it's time to fight. We're gonna fight all day and night until we get it right. Who just said, which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? NYC freedom fighters, and they try to fight. We're gonna fight until you night till we get it right. Yeah. Are you on my people? Which side are you on? Ooh, yeah. Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? You on my people? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, my people? I know you're fighting a good fight. I know you're fighting a good fight. I know you're fighting a good fight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Folks, we posted Jay and Stacy's Instagram accounts to follow their performances. That was beautiful. I don't even know how like you're making all the sounds and stuff work, but I think that that's fantastic. Thank you, Jay, for being here. I want to throw it out to another person whose creative talents have been highlighted through the strike and been keeping us informed. Let's introduce Elle Cruz. Elle, I believe you are a pediatric ED nurse. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
Um,
I'm
oh,
CCU nurse. I'm a
never mind.
cardiac ICU.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. Sorry about that.
So, hi, I'm LJ. I'm from Cardiac ICU Milstein building. So, basically, when I first came into this thing, I was like not sure where am I supposed to be going on any direction. However, I have, as we all know, we have seen how media distorted the narrative, perpetuating injustices on all sides while silencing our voices as bias outlets give certain individuals the upper hand. So, this is how our social media presence took shape. It wasn't my perspective that captured the whole story. In fact, it was public sharing of their own experiences, their point of view. And sometimes it could make you laugh, it could annoy you or something, but then it was somehow became a platform for everyone to just basically give all their circumstances. And so my commitment deepened as I witnessed the harsh realities. Social media in today's world has become the true voice of the people. And at this point, when I saw that, we are now our own media. So we address the misinformation effectively using social media. By providing accurate information and countering false narratives, we maintain credibility and the trust within the community. And so after that, I saw, well, um, every day I would post like 2 to 3 contents and then consistently tagging all these medias who keeps on giving us lies. So I know it's quite annoying, but then it's their fault. So I would have to do it over and over, and if I have to do it every second, I would do it. So that's how it all began. And so suddenly CBN News, and then I saw them like turn around a little bit, like quite 40%. I even called them like the well, you're basically paid media, I think. That's what I said. So like I'm really fighting them because I needed this for all of us. So basically, the social media has amplified our voices, number one. It has provided a platform where everyone could share their experiences, their funny experiences, their sad experiences, anything under the sun. I'm welcoming all of them. So we also observe how social media facilitated the mobilization and organization. One big thing about that was the Times Square. We didn't have enough time to really announce this. It was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon when we gave this announcement through social media, and then it just scattered like that. And
Wait, Elle,
um,
could you, for those who don't know, could you break down the Times Square action? Like share for people what happened and what, like how you guys got like all the coverage? Yeah.
So basically, we have this like a separate like a strike captain group who basically organized this thing. And so they're like, oh, maybe we should do at 4 o'clock. We decided, okay, it's a go. We're going to do Times Square to make our presence here in Times Square. And so we were like, maybe we have to be quiet, like just like basically just a presence and media presence and everything. And the billboard, the idea of billboard came about because I remember my friend having to, well, he got engaged using billboard, and I figured that it was quite like loud if we do billboard there. So that's what we did. So at 4 p.m. we settled for that. So we had like less than 24 hours to do the entire thing, and we were so happy that it was quite amazing because 1,000, like more than 1,000 people came about to really support us, families and everyone. Then I knew the social media really has that kind of power, and it kind of gave us like the mobilization on any quiet movements that we really wanted to do. However, it's really, really sensitive too, because like it's unforgiving in a sense that if you make a short, like a very quite small mistake, it's basically like media, worse than media. And so we also leverage social media for real time updates, you know, that's the thing, and help build solidarity. We even made a song with Monte and Sinai. And so it was quite amazing because we've learned how to love each other through social media. So, and also, it also enhanced our visibility, drawing traditional media coverage because they know where exactly where to go when we have a plan to do something. So it was an amazing experience, and thank you for still watching us with all your comments. I'm really reading all of them. I read them all. It's not only me, okay? It's also Beth, but Beth is busy, so
Thank you, Elle.
yeah.
Yes, Elle is referencing Beth, who is the president of the executive committee at New York Presbyterian. I'll have Michelle give a little shout out. It is Beth's son's birthday, I believe, 1 year old, so she couldn't be here with us. Go ahead, Michelle.
No, the New York Presbyterian Executive Committee, everybody is so amazing. They have great leaders over there. Jay, Sophie Boland, Dolores Steele, Annalise, Rihanna. I'm forgetting people. Rhonda, Angela. These are amazing nurses. They have so many great leaders over there, and they have been such a testament to the willpower of their membership. They are so tapped into their members, and that's how they've been able to escalate an amazing campaign. With that being said, their leader, their LBU chair is Beth Loudon, who, like Harini said, her baby turned 1 today. So Beth is, dealing with mother duties on top of, leading thousands of nurses into a strike. So, I think I just wanted to shout out Beth because it's been amazing to watch her executive committee, and the members of New York Presbyterian fight the good fight. And just shout out to that committee and to everybody who's been pushing as hard as they have. I think to Elle's point, you give us power through being as brave as you are to the sacrifices that you and your nurses have made. You guys are fighting for a better future for your patients, and that's why we're all here to support you. Please continue to share the link with your family, your friends, your group chats. We have in just 2 hours been able to help raise over $8,000. So amazing job. Thank you, everybody. I think if we can do that in 2 hours, what can we do if we keep working on this? And that's what this is about. We are going to continue to stand with our brothers and sisters at New York Presbyterian now, tomorrow, and forever. The fight that our New York Presbyterian nurses are going through, and that our nurses throughout the city have went through, is because a lot to do with these CEOs feeling emboldened by the Trump administration and the evisceration of the National Labor Board. With that being said, this fight is for workers throughout the city, the state, and the country. You guys know that our workers are being attacked throughout the country. So please remind your friends and your families to donate to this cause, because this is a cause to make sure that our workers are being protected. With that being said, I'm going to pass it back to Harini.
Thank you, Michelle. Awesome. We are posting the donation link again. We'd like to ask folks to pause, send out the link. Andrea, would you like to say any solidarity words as a professional staff Congress CUNY union member and leader?
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I had to get on so late, but I want you to know that, I mean, our members talk about what's happening in your union so often, and we've tried to make it to the picket line many times. Not every single location, sometimes individual members. Actually, we have been to every location, but you've been such an inspiration to our union because we always relate to nurses because of the way you fight for patient care and we fight for quality education for students. I mean, that we feel is something we have in common that's so important to who we are as a union. And the struggle that you've waged has been so inspirational and important, not only to our union, but I know to the whole labor movement. So I want to thank you for that. And I will be pledging as soon as I can. I know the union will have a good donation to make. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Earlier, I think Marty Harrison with PASNAP was on, which is the Pennsylvania staff like nursing and allied professionals union. Marty is a longtime ED nurse. And I know Marty had said that she was texting her union board. So we'll appreciate everyone on this call sending out the link so that more people get a chance to contribute to a fund that is enabling our New York Presbyterian nurses to hold the line, to keep strong, to continue to provide for themselves and their families 34 days on.
I really should have said before, who we are. Maybe not everybody knows us, but we are the union of the City University of New York. So we're faculty, we're 30,000 members of the faculty and staff at all 25 CUNY colleges across the city. Thank you.
Thank you. I know there is someone else named Kyle on this call who is with the Moore Caucus of United Federation of Teachers. Kyle, if you're able, would you mind? I know we've seen so many teachers. Whenever I've been out at Mount Sinai West, I always rely on a huge group of UFT members to be there in solidarity. So, Kyle, would you like to share some words?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Harini. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you to all of the incredible nurses, the badass nurse organizers who've been on the call today. The testimonies today have been inspiring and empowering. And I am just here very briefly to say New York City rank and file teachers stand with New York City's rank and file nurses. It's as simple as that. My name is Kyle DeAngelis. I'm a third grade teacher. I'm a UFD chapter leader, which is our term for like shop stewards, like at the school buildings. I'm also a member of MORE, which is the Movement of Rank and File Educators. It is the social justice caucus of the United Federation of Teachers. My cat Zola is also here to offer support. If you see her terrorizing from the back or front of the computer screen, that's what that is. Everybody say hi, Zola. Her brother is locked in the bathroom right now because he's really a terrorist on Zoom. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that's her saying solidarity. All right, so I don't want to make this any longer than it has to be to take away from the incredible testimonies that the nurses have been giving. But I do want to say that teachers and nurses have a lot in common. We are both caring professions. We care for our students the same way you care for your patients. And very often that care gets weaponized against us when we have the audacity to ask for more support for our students and our patients. In MORE, we like to say that our working conditions are our students' learning conditions. And it's extremely obvious that the nurses at New York New York Presbyterian and the other hospital systems that have been on strike this last month, they're fighting for the working conditions they deserve because their working conditions are their patients' healing conditions. So we see you, we hear you, we support you. Happy Valentine's Day and solidarity forever. We'll see you out on the picket lines.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
Let's go. Can I interrupt really quickly? And I'll let Patrick chime in right after me. I just got a text message from Neisner, and apparently after days of trying to reach out to them to get to the table, they have now reached out to us, folks. which means that they are that much closer to realizing how much they were not ready for this fight, folks. Thank you all. We really appreciate it. Your support in this matter will continue to support us as we support the most vulnerable among us to stay the course, to hold the line.
Oh, Josh, thank you for that. Wow, that's amazing to hear. I know it's
Thank
been
you,
a rough
Josh.
week, not knowing if they were coming back to the table. And I'm so glad that they
Yeah.
are. You guys are amazing. Hold that fucking line, baby.
Yeah, let's go. As Patrick would say, let's fucking go, guys. Let's
Y'all
go.
got this. Y'all got
Let's
this.
go.
We got
Love you,
We love
Josh.
you
Thanks,
guys.
brother.
No doubt.
That
We're
was such
winning. We're winning. We're winning.
Yes.
oh, that was such good news to hear. Thank you, Josh. Harini, I lost my breath. I don't know where we're going next. I'm so happy.
No, that's amazing news, Patrick. If you want to share some stuff, we are gonna be wrapping up shortly. So anyone here on this Zoom call who would like to share your support for nurses, if you want to say some words, we open it up to you. We will post the links that we would like you guys to keep sharing so that our New York Presbyterian nurses can maintain their strike, to stay strong, motivated as they are here. Patrick, I'll leave it up to you if you'd like to say something, and otherwise, I want to open it up to this crowd, and then we'll wrap by hearing a song put on by one of the Presby nurses.
I'll just say something really quick. First, I just got to say thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody on this call. Thank you to everything the nurses from Monty and Mount Sinai, those crazy, wonderful, beautiful Wildcats, all they've done, all those actions. Everybody on Presby holding the line, everybody. I, it ain't over till it's over, but I think we won. I think we won. I think we won. I think this is a glorious week. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Could not have scripted that better, guys. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, and wow. Thank you all. Indeed.
Just some amazing news. Just, a little 2 hours and almost 2 hours into this call, coming back to the table. Huge, huge, huge news. So hats off, congrats to the folks who've been organizing last, many months. As we know, this started well before the 34, 35 days. This has been months, years, years of organizing behind the scenes that the media doesn't cover, that many people may not know of, unless, you're there day to day, shoulder to shoulder. Some people might have experienced this sort of organizing at other kinds of workplaces, but obviously this is much more than just this last month and change of work. So it's beautiful to see. I'm going to throw it to Wen to play this song, and we will use this as an opportunity to wrap up. Thank you all for joining the call. Michelle, if you want to say some closing words, we'll play this song and then we will wrap up.
I am so proud to be a NYSNA nurse. Let's go NYSNA nurses. NYSNA is the nurses that are the rank and file who go and kick some ass on a day-to-day basis. Don't let anybody ever tell you any different. It is the nurses who are out there on the picket line. It is the nurses standing shoulder to shoulder with each other. It is not NYSNA, the organization. It is NYSNA, the union, NYSNA, the rank and file, and I'm so proud to be one of our nurses. This has been an incredible journey. We've had a lot of obstacles. I think to Harini's point, many people don't understand this has been like an adventure of more than just the last few months. This has been an adventure for the last 18 months. Many of us who are on the executive committee have been preparing for the last year and a half. And we knew it was going to be an uphill battle, and it'll continue to be an uphill battle because even after we get these contracts, we're up against tyrannical employers, and we're going to need your help still, because when we end up having to fight these employers, it is not just us. It is us our communities, our patients, and the other parts of the labor movement coming behind us. And we're going to continue to need your help because I have a feeling it's going to be a weird 3 years. But we're going to always be here to fight and to put that into perspective for our fellow brothers and sisters in the labor movement. With that, let's hear some music, share that link, send it to people. Hopefully we have a victory in sight for our New York Presbyterian brothers and sisters, because they are not going to stop fighting. They're going to fight and get what we deserve for our patients and for our nurses. Let's go, New York Presbyterian. One day longer, one day stronger, baby.
One day longer, one day stronger.
One day longer, one day stronger.
White shoes on the night shift floor, badge clip up with so much more. You can scare on a piece of paper, but you can't shake a frontline savior. Don't you dare try to twist our pride. Threats don't work on the ones who triage. We're the hands that hold this city. We're the rage that turns to courage. Don't cross the line. Don't cross the line. You can draw your little boxes, but our strength won't fit inside. The power is in us. The power is in us. Presby, Sinai, Monty, stand. We decide what's fair for us. Yeah, we want safe work, safe pay, staffing right, not thinning air. You can heal what you keep on breaking. We save lives and we're done with waiting. From the Bronx to the heights we roar. Same fight on a different floor. We're the pulse that keeps you running. You can't win if we stop coming. Don't cross the line. Don't cross the line. You can draw your little boxes, but our strength won't fit inside. The power is in us. The power is in us. Presby, Sinai, Monty, stand. We decide what's fair for us. We got MONTE in the hole. SAINAI, stand tall. PRESBY, roll.